I see people saying hey already. Awesome. Cool, cool, cool. Alright, so while folks are joining and stuff, I want to go ahead and start with some questions that I received. I posted a post about, like, if y'all have questions and you think you might not can make it, then I'll go ahead and answer some questions. So while y'all that are tuning in are getting your questions ready or typing them or whatever, I'll go ahead and start with some of these, and it may be a question that you have. But anyway, first, I hope everybody's doing well. I haven't done one of these in a little while, so I'm excited to kind of get to hear from y'all and everything. And yeah, I'm doing pretty well overall. Still, you know, committed to finishing. I mean, I don't know. When I do a through hike, I don't ever, like, doubt I'm gonna finish. I mean, I guess there is, like, the time crunch of getting to Canada before the snow and all that, and the same thing with Katahdin, but I don't ever feel like, oh, what if I decide to quit or whatever. I don't know. I'm stubborn. So when I start something, I'm gonna finish it. So, unless some unforeseen horrible thing happens. So, oh no, it says bad connection. Okay, let me try the Wi-Fi. Y'all hold on. Bear with me. Okay, let's see. Let's see if that helps. Maybe. Poor connection. Great. Okay. Let's see. Still a poor connection. Ah, darn. I may have to move to... I can probably move to a computer where I'm at if I need to. Buffering every 15 seconds or so. Oh, that's not good. Still says poor connection. Okay. Let's see. I'm so sorry, y'all. No. Still bad. Yes, it is. Dadgum. Okay. This seems okay to you, Robin says. Okay. It's still saying on my end very bad connect. It seems okay now. I have nothing here. That's a little better. I wonder if I was better on the Wi-Fi. It is better now. Okay. Hopefully so. Alright, just to check out what kind of delay y'all are getting. Let's see. Let me test something out. What day of the week is it? I'll see how long it takes somebody to answer. Of course, I don't even know, hardly. Okay, it's Sunday. But I just want to see how long it takes somebody to answer. Okay. Alright, so there is a little bit of a delay, but, I mean, can y'all hear me okay right now? Let's see. Just waiting to see. Okay, alright. Sounds like I'm good now. Alright, I just want to make sure, yeah, Christina, are you still having issues, or can you... Okay, everyone says we're good. Yeah, maybe Christina, try, Xing out and then getting back in. And see, hopefully, if it looks like from my end that it's not a poor connection anymore, but, okay. Alright, hopefully we're good. Okay, so, what I was saying, let's see. I'm doing fine. I'm still trucking along. I was saying that, you know, for me, when I start a through hike, it's not a matter of, oh, I might decide to quit or whatever. It's like, you know, rushing to get to the end. You know, there are limitations there. Like, if I had some horrible thing happen. Oh, no. Christina said, nope, sad. So maybe it's not working for her. Maybe if you try logging out and logging back in. I don't know. Okay, but so I'm gonna go ahead and get started, and Christina, if I need to, okay, I'm here. Okay, good. I just hate to leave anybody out. All right, cool. Okay, so I'm sorry, this may be a little bit repetitive, but I'm just gonna kind of start over. So, doing well, feeling good, you know, I mean, I have my ups and downs and everything. That's very normal with a through hike. So I know, you know, there was, like video before the last one or something. It was kind of like humdrum a little bit, you know, whatever, but that's just the up and downs of the trail, just like normal life, you know. So y'all don't doubt me, you know. I'm still in it full speed ahead, still aiming to finish unless some unforeseeable horrible thing happens, or like, you know, the snow beats me to Canada so badly like I can't go through it, or, you know, some terrible thing like that. But otherwise, when I start something, I'm gonna finish it. So but I wanted to go ahead and start with the questions while y'all are formulating questions or whatever that you may have, and y'all may have some of these as questions too. But I had asked folks that thought maybe they couldn't, you know, if they couldn't make it, to go ahead and message me their questions or post them, and then, you know, I could respond to those. So I'll go ahead and start with those. Never a doubt. Thank you, Sally. Okay, so the first question that somebody asked, and that people have been asking me, and that I guess I've kind of somewhat been avoiding, I mean, not necessarily, but just, it's like, I don't know, I just didn't talk about it. Drone. Yes, I am flying a drone. I posted a gear list on the website today, so if you go to homemadewanderlust.com, it's like the most recent post as of now, but if there are more posts made after somebody's seeing this, then if you go to the gear tab and then PCT gear list, then it'll be under the Sierra Nevada, you know, section. So I have been carrying one since, I guess, I got on trail after my brother's graduation, but I was like, I don't want to say scared to fly it. I was just kind of like, I don't know what I'm doing with it. I've never flown a drone before, you know. While I was pretty much, you could say I was a tomboy growing up. I hung out with more boys and girls. I never really had a whole lot of remote control vehicles and stuff like that, so it's a new thing to me. But, you know, I have been paying attention to, like, for example, in a national park, they are illegal. So I think that that's the main reason I haven't really talked about it, because I know that everyone will tell me where they're illegal and where they're not, and this, and I know people are trying to help, but it's just, I don't know, sometimes you're like, I know, you know, I've Googled it, I've looked it up, but, so anyway, you know, I am minding where I fly the drone. I am careful with it, you know, I'm not chasing bears with it or anything like that, pestering animals, you know, I'm not flying it over people's tents while they're trying to sleep or anything like that. But the main reason I wanted to get the drone was just to add kind of a new element. Being out in the wilderness is really, to me, a magical feeling, and it feels so special to me. And I know that I am very fortunate to, you know, to be doing this, and to have the opportunity to spend this much time in the wilderness and to see the magic of it. And sometimes I feel like when I show it to y'all, you know, it's just like 2D, right? And so, I don't know, to me the drone, like the aerial shots and stuff, it just kind of gives you hopefully a feel of how magical it really is, and almost what I feel like when I'm there submerged and all of that. So I just thought it would add a new kind of feel to it, new aspect to it, and would add value to the video. So I thought about it, and Aaron had mentioned it before I left, and I was like, I'm not toting a drone. I'm not toting that weight. I don't know how to fly one. And then while I was hiking through the desert, I thought about it, and I was like, you know, it might actually really be a cool thing, you know. And I just kind of kept thinking on it. And when I went home for my brother's graduation, I was like, Aaron, what do you think about me getting a drone? And he was like, I told you. And so he was right. And so I got it, and I was scared to fly it at first just because I didn't know what I was doing, you know, so I slowly just practiced a little bit, and then, you know, started kind of getting some shots with it, and he's been able to use them. So that's basically all there is to that. So it wasn't really planned in advance. It was just kind of something I thought about along the way, even though it was mentioned before I left. How do I charge the batteries was a question. The way I charge the batteries is just like anything else when I'm in town. So, you know, it only has like 20-something minutes of fly time, and you know, I'm out. So I just kind of have to make it count, you know. And you are limited to where you can fly, so it's not like I can fly it all day every day and, you know, get all this footage and then pick and choose from it, you know. And then in the areas that I can't have it, I've bounced it ahead. So I've, you know, put it in a package and mailed it ahead to the next town. So that's pretty much it about the drone. It is a Mavic Pro. Again, it's on my gear list, and when this video is over, you know, I can add a link to that in the description. But anyway, and then somebody asked about physical shape. So my feet, my knees, my hips, all that stuff. Everything's feeling good right now except my plantar fasciitis has kind of started bothering me again a little bit. But I just got some new insoles today. And I think that that's what it was, because I have relatively new shoes, so I think I just need to replace my insoles and I'll be good. My toenails on my big toes are grown back, so that's good. Knees are feeling good, except like when I fall and hit it on a rock, or, you know, I'm going over a blow down tree and I hit my knee on, you know, and then it hurts for a couple days. Just normal stuff. As far as emotional and psychological, that gets tested. So I was really excited to cross into Oregon. Woohoo! I'm in Oregon now. And so I was really excited to cross in, and the day the eclipse happened, I wasn't there for totality, but I was like 90-something%. So it's still awesome. I would like to see one in totality. Had I not gone straight through the Sierra Nevada, I probably would have been in the area to see one in totality. But you know what? Still don't regret doing that. I can see a total eclipse at some other point. Not sure that I'll be able to hike the Sierra Nevada in an epic snow year in the future, so I chose well for myself, I guess. I feel good with my decision. But and then also these fires lately, which I can cover more about. There are a lot of fire closures in Northern California and in Oregon. They've been very aggravating and kind of a bummer, you know, trying to get around it. And you see so many people just skipping miles and miles, like, not that are closed miles, but miles that... So I'm going to see if I can explain this. Say this is the trail going up through here, and there's a road that intersects halfway, and maybe, you know, the northern end of, like, the fire closure, the forest is closed from here above, and, oh no, buffering, why? I don't know how to stop it. Let's see. I can try the Wi-Fi thing again. Let's see. Okay, it's a little, but it's better again now. Still says poor connection. Let me try. Sorry, I'm so sorry, y'all. I can never tell. Like, right now, Verizon's a liar, let me tell you, because I've got... Okay, I'm good here, Sally said. Oh, it's very bad again. Ah! Okay, well, if it's better now for y'all, okay. Alright. So anyway, say this is the open section of trail, and, like, the closure is down here, and the closure is up here, and this is open trail, okay? Well, there might be a highway that comes in halfway, and, you know, so to get this section, there's no other entry except this highway that splits it in half. So I'll have to come in this highway, hike south, double back, hike that, you know, and that might be 20 miles down and 20 miles back. So it's now 20 miles that's turned into 40, you know, and then from here go up and double back, you know, and it's just a pain to get, like, all these little segments in between closures. But I have to complete every mile of trail that's open, otherwise I don't feel like I completed it. So so anyways, it's been a struggle, but it's okay. You know, it's just part of the challenge. This year, the class of 2015 saw epic snow, and now we're seeing epic fire. So, you know, it's just, it's gonna be a crazy year to say that I got to do the PCT. So, so I am at times a little discouraged by stuff like that, but like I said, I'm still trucking along. When it's over, will I be happy? I'll be glad to rest, and I'll be glad that, like, the mission is completed, but I mean, I'll be missing the trail again, you know, and by Christmas I'll be like daydreaming of the days of the PCT. But when I get done, I probably, you know, will definitely enjoy time indoors. So that'll be good. And probably catch up on the blog and, you know, all that other stuff, and get ready to do the CDT and finish the Triple Crown. So, now, somebody else asked, how much collaboration is there between me and Aaron? Do we have like an end product in mind while I'm videoing, and how much time does Aaron spend on videos? So I don't know about the time that Aaron spends on videos. He'll have to answer that one, and he's not on tonight, I don't think. So, but as far as how much time or how much collaboration, we'll talk, you know, especially if there was something that, because obviously I video a lot, so he can't put everything in the videos, you know, but I think he puts probably the most interesting stuff, I assume, I mean, we might talk about it a little bit, like there may be things I'm like, I really want this in there, you know, or if he wants to clarify, like, how did you feel when this happened, you know, so that he can portray it properly, and sometimes he'll double check with me on stuff, so like on the video where I admitted I crapped my pants, you know, he's like, do you want me to include that? And I was like, I mean, yeah, that happened, so I want people to know that it's not just always, you know, sunshine and butterflies. Sometimes you crap your pants. And, I mean, I know a lot of people that did it on the AT, and some that have admitted doing it on the PCT, so I kind of felt special, like I'm a real thru-hiker now, you know. But, anyway, so, okay, and then last one that I had, oh, and then, no, I don't really video as like an end product of mine. I just video whatever's happening, you know, and then he says that the footage speaks to him and he's able to put something together. So, okay, and then the fires, is it truly a safety issue or an annoyance? I would say it's more of an annoyance than anything. Of course, there are, I mean, of course it's a safety issue, but I think the way they do the closures is enough buffer to, you know, they don't want people right up next to the fire. So I don't fear the fire while I'm out there hiking. There it has been a lot of smoke, so haven't been able to see many views in Oregon, which I hear is normally very beautiful, so that's unfortunate. But I appreciate all the people who are out there busting their tails to you know, get hikers out of the woods when it does become an issue, and to fight the fires and all of that. So it's really neat to see people come together and do that stuff, and where us hikers are very appreciative of all the Forest Service people and the firefighters and all that. So, okay, so let me get to the questions that y'all have asked, just to make sure I haven't missed anything. I'm scrolling back through. What was your day job? Robin says, I think that's, yep. Okay, that's the first question. What was your day job before you hiked the AT? So before I hiked the AT, I went to school for biosystems engineering, which is like agricultural/environmental engineering at Auburn University, and I worked a while with the Department of Agriculture, which is the branch specifically was the NRCS, that's the Natural Resources Conservation Service, and we did projects like erosion control on farms. Yes, War Eagle. We did projects like erosion control on farms, building ponds, irrigation ponds, surveying. So like in the 60s and 70s, there were a lot of dams, watershed dams, put in to help with flood control and stuff like that. So we'll go out and make sure those dams are still sound, right? Because those were built, I mean, almost 50 years ago, right? Some of them 50 years ago. So, also, we did, like, gravity-fed, like, for example, a woman's husband developed brain cancer they had a farm together, and she wasn't able to tote water to this back paddock for goats anymore, so, we gravity-fed a natural spring. We created a little system to gravity feed water down to a trough. Anyway, that stuff like that, farm stuff, and helping farmers be more environmentally friendly. And then I worked more as a mechanical engineer in the oil field in Colorado. So that's what I did. And then I ran away and hiked the AT. So I'm just running my mouth now. Okay, let's see. Let me go back. My brother Ray and I are watching from a Chinese restaurant in, I guess is it Wytheville? Is that how you say it? At the end of a 1,000-mile motorcycling. Whoa, that's a lot of miles. Way to go. I'm impressed. I hope y'all are enjoying the Chinese. And I eat Chinese buffet sushi. I don't know, you didn't say it was a buffet, but I totally risk it and eat that stuff. It's so good. Thank you, Rachel. Thank you for watching. How many days riding? Okay, y'all are talking about motorcycle stuff. Alright, after stream crossing, do you take the time to take off your shoes, wring out socks, or just keep hiking? Also, after a toenail falls off, does it just grow back in a month? Sorry if too gross. Hey, nothing's gross in the hiker world. I mean, I just talked about crap in my pants, right? So, okay. As far as socks and shoes go, if I took my shoes off and socks off and all that every time I crossed some water, in the Sierra Nevada, I would still be there. So, I mean, maybe in a normal year it's not as bad. I guess there are some people who maybe try to do the water shoes thing. It just takes too long to me. Your feet kind of get warmed up, so I just chomps on through and just keep trucking. Now, with that said, about 3 times a day, so 1 early morning break, 1 late afternoon break, and then like an hour for lunch, I would take my socks off, wring them out, hang them up in the sun, you know, take my insoles out, try to let my feet dry out, especially just let my feet kind of dry. And then you can swap socks at that point if you want to. Your feet are probably going to get wet in just a few minutes, you know, whatever. So yeah, so that's pretty much what I did there. Okay, let's see. And then, sorry y'all, scrolling back through. Okay, after your toenails fall off, does it take just a month to grow back? Okay. No, mine fell off. I reckon they never like completely, like it's not just like it peeled off. It's like some kept separating and I kept clipping. So, I mean, I don't know if y'all can even see, but they're, maybe I can, well, I don't know. Anyway, it's kind of growing back. It is, they're still not back yet, and it's been several months. So, toenails, I think, grow a lot slower than fingernails, I've heard. I don't know that I've actually looked that up, so I might be lying to y'all, but I don't think I am. I think I think maybe I have read that somewhere. But anyway, so they're slowly growing back though. They're making it. They're hanging in there. Okay, so the next question. You are rocking it. We miss you at Nipper's. Great pics from Crater Lake the other day. Yeah, except you can't see anything but smoke hardly. But I mean, it cleared up a little bit around noon. Thank you, Jerry. I miss y'all, and I'm gonna be back, and I'm gonna be expecting you to sit in your chair, and Redman to be there. So, okay, let's see. And I'm glad that you tuned in. I'm gonna say Jerry, who's on here right now, he's pretty much, I think, the only one from my hometown that actually actually tunes in and follows and supports me. So that means a lot to me. Not that the rest of them, you know, don't love me, my folks at home, but I reckon he really does. So okay, we are so enjoying following you on your adventure. So impressed that you are sticking to your goal of walking all or as much as you can of the trail. Is the timeline, is there a timeline of your trip? Is that what you, Robert, I'm not exactly sure what you were saying at the end. I don't know if you're saying, is there a timeline of your trip? If you mean like as far as when I need to finish by, I just need to make it to Canada before there's like just crazy dumpings of snow in Washington. Sometimes that could happen at the end of September, sometimes, you know, mid-October. Oh no, it says poor connection. I hope it's not buffering. Oh, well, I got your answer. So you're saying yes. Okay. So my kind of aiming for date was October 1st, but I know last year people finished into the first week of October even, so, you know, it just depends. And even if the snow does come, I mean, I might, you know, as long as I'm not alone, try to make it anyway. You know, I'll see. I'll burn that bridge when I get there. No pun with all this fire stuff lately. No pun intended. Alright, let's see. You'll have to get back to Oregon so you can see all its beauty. I will. Like, especially Crater. I was kind of bummed out that it wasn't, you know, clear. I've heard so much about Crater Lake. But, you know, this is the way I justify it. I'm like, I didn't come on this trip to see Crater Lake. It's not like I drove or flew across the country and, you know, that was my goal, was to see Crater Lake. It was just a cherry on top of this trip, you know, so, or one of the many, you know, sprinkles on the trip. So, I'm still doing the PCT. I'm still happy to be out here, and hopefully, you know, I'll come back to Crater, and there might be some reason that didn't work out this time, and so I have to come back for some reason, you know, that I don't understand yet. So it is what it is. I try not to let that stuff get to me too much. All right. Hi, just got here. Well, welcome, Mike. Okay, good. I see, Robin, that it was buffering while I answered your question, but you got it. Okay. Sorry, I missed the beginning. Where at in Oregon are you now? So currently, this place behind me is Bend. I'm in Bend, Oregon. Luckily staying at a Trail Angels house. So, it's been awesome, to be able to be here at a real house, like where you can, I don't know, relax more, you know what I mean? Like, it's not a hotel room that you have to be out by 11 or whatever, so it's been really nice. Let's see. My mom and I love your videos. It's currently 1 a.m. in the UK. Oh my gosh, Sophie, you are up at 1 a.m. watching this? That is crazy. Well, I hope that you don't have anything pressing to do tomorrow. But I really appreciate you tuning in, and I'm glad y'all are enjoying the videos. That is crazy. Hi, Dixie. Do you roll your tent up every day, or do you just stuff it in the bag? Okay, so it came with a stuff sack, but I've found that, how can I explain this? Okay, so if I were to like cram this item next to this item, so essentially when you put stuff in a stuff sack, it gets all like rigid, right, and stuffed in. So if I try to cram this next to this, like, there are gaps in between, you know, they don't line up perfectly. But if it's something material that, other than my clothes, I like to keep them in a dry sack. But my tent gets wet anyway, right, if it rains, which it really hasn't. But so I prefer to just not put it in the stuff sack and just cram it in there. So it just, everything is more compact in there that way. I don't know that this really helped, but maybe I'm a visual learner. That's why I do stuff like that. I don't know. All right. Let's see here. Where's Perk? He's here too. He's actually here too. So I'm hiking with Perk right now, and I'm hiking with a cool chick named Milestone and her dog Ragnar. So the three of us and the dog are all staying here together. And maybe when we get to the end, I can run and find Perk and Ragnar and Milestone so that they can say hello. Oh, and also Milestone mentioned that she would be willing to answer questions potentially at some point if folks have questions about hiking with dogs. So I might do like a recorded video with that. I don't know, I might do a live Q&A. I'm not sure yet, but she's willing to do that. So that would be cool. Do you wear sock liners, blister prevention, etc.? Okay, so Glenn, I don't wear sock liners. For blister prevention, honestly, I was very lucky on the AT. I had one blister the whole time at mile 1700, just a random blister that showed up on my toe out of the blue and was like, hey, and it didn't really hurt, and then it went away, and that was it. So, never had an issue with blisters. The only blisters I had on this trail, all through the desert and the Sierras, was the two, well, one under each toenail that I got because my shoes were too small, even though that was the size I finished with on the AT. So, anyhow, the compact, you know, just like hitting my toe all the time, created blisters under the toenail, and that's what made my toenails come off. So, other than those, haven't had any until we did a 24 hour challenge, Perk and I and a couple other people, just to see how many miles we could hike in 24 hours, because why not, right? And I ended up getting 62 miles, and I had some gnarly blisters when I finished that day. And it's probably because I didn't really take that many breaks, and I swapped my socks one time. You know, I mean, I'm fine, but anyhow, got some blisters. So I think from the new skin coming back and stuff like that, I've been getting a few blisters here and there on the tips of my toes. But I've got some Injinji socks and I wear Darn Toughs, but I don't really have a whole lot of issues with blisters. So I'm not sure that I'm the best person to answer it. But I know a lot of people use like Leuko tape, also moleskin. You can use Body Glide, you know, because it's basically where you're getting a hot spot, you know, and there's friction being caused. So you could use Body Glide, different things like that. The main thing is prevention. When you feel a hot spot, do something about it. So, but you know, I know a lot of people battle with blisters, and just I've kind of been fortunate to not really have to deal with that. But then I have plantar fasciitis, so. Okay, let's see. I normally shout "Go Vols," but you earned War Eagles as well. I did get a kick out of your Rocky Top song from the AT. Yeah, I mean, I was raised that way, so I don't mind Tennessee. I mean, you know, in the SEC, it's like, you know, we're cool with everybody. I love Auburn and anybody who's playing Alabama, right? So really in college football in general. So, alright, if you didn't have to worry about weight, what luxury item that you don't have now would you put in your pack? Oh, if like it was magically soft or magically lightweight or weightless. That's a really good question. I don't know. Maybe like a I mean, if we're being ridiculous, like an espresso machine, you know, or something, you know, something like to do with coffee, a coffee maker, so I could have real coffee instead of the grounds. No, probably I would, I don't know, I would pack different food, or like a real stove, or, you know, pots and pans that I can, like, do fancy stuff with. I don't know. That's kind of hard. Or maybe I would, like more changes of clothes. Nah, because you still stink because you don't bathe. Oh man, that's really a tough one. I don't know. I'd really have to think about it. I'd have to think about that more. Or maybe just a pillow, like a good, like, down, except I don't, even in real life, I'm not obsessed with pillows. I like the flat one. So, I don't know. I'd have to think about that one more. That one's tough. If, like, it was just magically a weightless item. Which I don't know if you meant it like that or more practical, but, so you can specify if you want. Okay, grizzly encounters. No, I ain't seen no grizzlies. I have seen 4 bears so far. 3 cubs. 1 cub I saw by itself. Then I saw 2 cubs and a mom separately. So, no, they've all run. I haven't had any, like, bluff charge me, anything like that, like I did on the AT. And, I've not really been scared. I mean, night hiking can be a little creepy just because, and especially when folks are like, oh, there are a lot of, mountain lions in this area, you know, and I'm like, I mean, I can deal with bears better than mountain lions, because, I don't know, I'm more of a dog person than a cat person. I just don't ever own cats, because I don't like something that, like, when I'm petting it, I'm like, oh, you're so sweet, and then it's gonna, you know, get you. So thinking of, like, a ginormous cat just kind of freaks me out, because they're so swift and just efficient with their, like, kill, and I don't know. I'm like, basically I wouldn't know it was there until it got me, and then that would be the end of me. So I just try not to think about it. But they do say if you hike with your sunglasses on the back of your head that it helps, because they associate humans, you know, with eyeballs in the front, I guess, and so if they're stalking the back of you, if you have the sunglasses, it kind of looks like that. I don't know if that's true or not. Again, something that I've heard but haven't researched for myself. Okay, Rocket City, Huntsville, Alabama here. Awesome! I used to live in Grant for a little while, so how long do you think it will take you to walk through Oregon and Washington? Well, I think right now I have to average 25 to 26 miles a day to get to Canada with no zeros. Yeah, but there are a lot of sections, again, closed for fires. So, you know, and we've been pulling close to 30-mile days here, so it's really not unreasonable. I think in Washington that will slow down some, but I don't know for sure. So I would like to be done October 1st. That's like the targeted date. It may be within the first week, though. You know, who knows? I was aiming for, you know, the first week of October on the AT, and I finished October 19th. So just hoping I don't push it that much this time. So, let's see. Leo says, hey Leo. Alright, best few minutes of video so far in last episode. Mosquito song, saving the frog, reflecting on murder. Yeah, definitely laughed out loud. Yeah, I mean, people are like, are you crazy? Like, why are you, what's going on with that? But, I mean, I don't know, that's just, you have so much time to think. And then, you know, when I decapitated the ant from, so I don't know if y'all saw, but basically, a frog was being attacked by an ant. I say attacked. It was attached to its feet. Two of the feet had ants on it. And it was like slowly crawling across the trail. And I'm like, early morning, like, what's up, buddy? Are you okay? And that was a weird day. That was the same day that the spider jumped and got the mosquito. So that same video where that shot was, that was the same day. It was like within an hour of each other. So it was a brutal day in the woods. But anyway, so I see this frog and he's all pitiful. These ants are attacking him, and I'm like, for all I know, he was at their nest, like eating them. I don't know. And I guess it's actually a toad. Somebody corrected me. But anyhow, an amphibian that had 4 legs was crawling across the trail. So anyway, I picked him up, and one ant turned loose and the other one wouldn't, and just was latched on. And I thought later, you know, maybe if I dunked the frog's leg in water, the ant would have turned loose, like if he was drowning. I don't know. But anyway, I ended up just like ripping his body off of his head. And so then I was like, why did I choose the frog? Like, why did I intervene? Why did I, you know, and it just like makes you think of all these like questions, like logic that just started running through my head. So it's kind of silly, but I don't know, it's stuff that I happened to think about that day. And I just like, I hate killing things unless I'm going to eat it. And then I still enjoy the kill, but I'm like, well, at least it, you know, died for a reason. But anyway, we won't get into all that. Okay, how is the trail magic in Oregon? Okay, so Leo, the Oregon trail magic has been pretty awesome. As soon as we crossed in, there were some coolers, some apples. You know, people have been like leaving things. I have to admit that definitely the trail magic is a little more hands-on on the AT than the PCT, but also there are a lot more people out there on the AT, so probably more pass-through hikers and things like that, you know. But it's a different culture out there than here, but the trail magic has still definitely existed here, and has been good in Oregon for sure. I know you love listening to music, but do you also have any audiobooks or podcasts that you like to listen to? Yes, that's a good question. Okay, so I had never listened to Lord of the Rings, or seen it, or read it, or any of that. Sorry, there are gnats and stuff out here. But anyway, I decided when I went into the Sierra Nevada that I was going to listen to Lord of the Rings, and so I got done with the first book, and I'm like, wait, there's more than one book, and I know I'm like with pop culture stuff, you know, I just don't follow along, so I guess there probably was more than one movie, and I just don't know. But anyhow, so I listened to the first one, then I listened to the second one, I listened to the third one, and I really liked the Lord of the Rings stuff. Also, a follower on YouTube had a book called The Oldest Soul. It's like Animist, The Oldest Soul. And so I have been listening to those. There are 2 out already, so I've listened to the first 2. And then the third one is coming out, so I'm really excited to finish that. So yeah, I listened to some of that on the AT. I listened to like Killing Lincoln, Killing Kennedy, Killing whatever. I know not everybody loves O'Reilly, but I like learning about history. I wish I had paid more attention, like in high school and in college, to those things. But the way that those books are presented, I like. And then, okay, but the podcast. My favorite podcast in the entire world to listen to is a podcast called The Survival Podcast. And while I do consider myself a prepper, I know that word has kind of been morphed into like some weirdo or whatever, but I guess more of like a homesteader, a voluntarist, or, you know, independent and like self-sufficient, take care of myself kind of thing. You know, I like all that. I like learning new skills, gardening, so all of that stuff. I know that sounds contradictory with running away to the woods, but when I'm home, you know, I compost, I like to garden, I like to do things with my hands, build things, learn things. I like listening to stuff about permaculture and practicing those things in my life. So he talks about that stuff, but he also talks about a logical approach to thinking. So like thinking for yourself, and I I mean, has all sorts of topics about like homeschooling kids and yada yada. And whether you agree on it, agree with him or not, it's always cool to hear some side of it, you know. And he doesn't necessarily take sides. It's not political as in like he's a Republican or a Democrat, you know. So it's very much like, you're presented with this, how do you think about it, you know? So I really do love that podcast. And honestly, I have to credit the guy that does it, hosted, is Jack Spirko. And I went and I did a presentation, and I know I posted that video from that workshop on the channel where I presented about backpacking, because really, like, bug out bags, like for example what happened with this hurricane, you know, people could go, all right, we need to leave, we need to go out of town, we're gonna go to this hotel that's a few hours away, we already planned this, you know, we know what to do. So it's not like, oh, freaking out, where do we go, where do we, you know, it's like, all right, grab the pack and let's go. So a lot of backpacking gear can you know, work with like bugging out gear. So that's why I went and presented. And anyway, it's a really great community. The neck knife that I wear, one of the guys has a small business, MT Knives, and he, you know, that's his business, and I know him through that community. So a lot of these people have small businesses or passive incomes and things like that. So that's another thing he talks about, is like creating your own niche, you know, and that's why I started growing microgreens. So anyway, that podcast has really, it probably gave me the guts, honestly, to quit my job and go hike the Appalachian Trail, even though he doesn't necessarily talk about quitting your job and going to spend time in the woods. So I really do love that podcast. I'm sorry I went really long on that, but you got me talking about something I really love. So anyway, all right. Sending you virtual Snickers. Oh, thank you. Have you heard from the guys you went through the Sierras with? Yeah, so maybe I shouldn't ruin this, but the next video you're going to see, Rooster quit. He went home. Dan is ahead. He's not so much of a purist, or Mark. They kind of are like, if it's not convenient to get into these miles, we're going to skip it. So they actually just crossed into Washington. Butters is here in Bend. He's not here where I'm staying, but he's here in Bend. So, and then Dibs is also here in Bend, staying with Butters. So, so yeah, I still keep in touch with them. You need to eat, girl. A few plates of red beans and rice with sausage. Well, you gonna cook it and send it to me? I'm just kidding. I eat like a man. I just had a whole huge pizza to myself earlier. So, I know. I mean, but look, got that gun. So, I mean, I'm scrawny, but dynamite comes in small packages. Gordon. Okay. Thomas says hi from Colorado. Is the bottom of your tent lasting without a protective underlayer? So far, yes. Of course, I hadn't been in a whole lot of water or anything like that. It's not raining here, so, but I don't have any, like, big holes punched in it or anything like that I've seen. I've noticed a few, like, pinhole size holes in the top of my tent, but they have that, it's like repair tape. I mean, it's like some heavy duty stuff. So all I have to do is cut out a little bitty thing and just boop, put it up there, and it's like a patch. So, did you ever get to some tape to repair a Z-Pack tent? Have you had any issues with your duplex? Well, there you go. I just answered your question, Robert. And no, I haven't had any issues with the duplex. I mean, other than that, but like, a tent's going to have wear and tear. I mean, that's just normal when you towed it. Now I've gone over 1,900 miles, so that's normal. And they guarantee those tents, if I'm not mistaken, for one through hike. So, okay. Oh, back to the anything I could have. Okay, so yeah, I would probably, if I could have something that was magically weightless, yeah, I don't know. It would either be like a real bed. Probably that's what it would be, a real bed. I mean, my Neo Air is awesome, but like a real bed, that's always wonderful for me when I get to town. That's what I really miss more than anything, probably. Okay, grizzlies are supposedly extinct in the Pacific Northwest, just black bears now. Yeah, I reckon I'll get them going through Montana, though. I don't know if I'll see one, but I know they do live in Montana. Favorite instant coffee. Have you ever tried Jiva cubes? Or, I don't know if that was supposed to be Java. I found them this year and love it for backpacking trips, and it tastes like coffee instead of dirty water. I mean, I don't get real picky with my coffee, you know. I'm just like, I guess I just need that caffeine. So, I mean, the Starbucks ones are definitely good. I mean, but honestly, I've had better coffee than Starbucks before, you know, so I even love gas station coffee. I just don't care. But Perk loves that Cafe Bustelo, and I've found those an instant also. Those are pretty good. But I mean, normally I'm mixing like creamer in it, or like powdered creamer, or like hot chocolate, so I don't really taste it anyway. But in real life I put honey and cream. So yeah, I know Grizz in the Pacific Northwest of the U.S., but they are looking at reintroducing them in Washington soon. Interesting. So we're going to have wolves and grizzlies. It's going to make the PCT more interesting. Paul said, what do you think about someone / me doing the PCT first over doing the AT? I think that would be fine, honestly. You know, as long as you do your research and you're not toting like a cast iron skillet that's, you know, big or bigger than your head, and, you know, you have like a reasonable understanding of what gear might work for you. I mean, I'd never been on a backpacking trip, and there are people that I've met out here that have never been on a backpacking trip before this trail. So, I mean, you'll be fine if you have enough water capacity to tote water if you need it. I mean, basically cover your needs, right? So, water, food, shelter, mainly. So if you do that, the town stops are frequent enough, especially at the beginning if you're going northbound, that you can correct mistakes. So you'd be fine. So if you prefer the wide open vast views to the green tunnel on the AT, and the more like the AT has soul and then, you know, the PCT is just like, it feels more, I don't know, I guess I shouldn't say soulless, but like it's definitely more wide open and brutal feeling, like unforgiving to me, you know, and there's like comfort for some reason in Green Forest of the AT, but the PCT is amazingly beautiful. So every day you're just like, wow, I live in a postcard, you know. So if you think you would prefer that, go for it. I mean, I think you would still be fine starting this as your first trail. And then if you've been backpacking before, then you're even one step ahead. Okay, you're so right about someday telling your kids where you would find good river crossings. My boys always point out the good campsites when we go backpacking. See, that's awesome. Yeah, I can just imagine my children being like, oh my god, there she goes again talking about that. Brian says, are you still fishing? So I haven't been, because I've just been like go trying to hike. So if I get into Washington and I feel like I've bought, you know, these fire closures have bought some time, then I might get that Tenkara back and start fishing again. Have you lost anything else, like your knife, headphones, etc.? I'm on like my 3rd pair of headphones, I think. And I also, when I went home and came back, I lost my raincoat, but I have it replaced now. And thanks to Sally. And so anyhow, I don't really think anything significant, but there's probably, oh, I did lose a pair of Injinji socks the other day, so I have no idea. I have no idea where those went. I mean, you do lose little things like that, but I think they had a hole in them anyway, so it was probably time. But nothing big, because I would have to go back for it or replace it. Great book choice, and the scenery probably helped immerse you into the story. Yes, with the Lord of the Rings, yeah, they're like, oh, we have 10-15 miles left to go over this pass, and I'm like, well, bless your heart, I have like hundreds, you know, but no, it really was, and it was cool to hear them talking about snow, and I'm like trucking through the snow, you know, and I'm like, yeah, I feel your pain, and it kind of really puts you in it. So there is a great podcast about hiking put out by a couple in Oregon called The First 40 Miles that I love. I'll have to check out the survival one. Awesome. Yeah, the survival podcast, like I said, that's kind of my crew. So I've got like my backpacking group, you know, even like online folks like yourselves and whatever, you know, this like backpacking community, and then I've got my like survival podcast community and folks, and some of that overlaps a little bit. So and I actually did an interview on I did that presentation there, and there's a YouTube video of that Jack recorded, but also I was on Jack's podcast, like speaking, so, and he's got, you know, all of those that you can listen to. So if y'all want to hear me talk more about backpacking, probably the same stuff y'all have heard me say already, then that's on there. Hey Mac, you made it. Have you been tracking your weight loss since you started? Do you feel stronger at this point of the trip or of the PCT as compared to the AT? Okay, so I know y'all keep saying I'm like losing weight, but like I'm just always scrawny. Like I haven't really lost weight. On the AT, I lost weight when I got food poisoning and was doo-dooing like a goose for a while. So I did lose some weight then. I think I lost like 10 pounds or something. But out here, I mean, my normal weight is in between 125 and 130, and that's, I stay in those bounds, like even on trail. So, so yeah, I don't lose any. I'm just normally scrawny. Y'all just don't normally see me in a tank top, I reckon. This is loaner clothes, by the way, from the Trail Angels. Okay, so weird to me how you guys have to look out for bears. The scariest animal I've had to look out for are sheep. Hey, though, Sophie, sheep, I mean, well, it's a goat, but I mean, I've seen the movie Heidi, hadn't you? Where Heidi's like bent over and that goat, you know, takes her out. But, and I got bit by a goat when I was a little girl at Disney World, and, they tried to give me a tetanus shot, but luckily I'd already had it. So thanks, Mom, for being on top of that. So I didn't have to like be scarred for life getting a shot at Disney. But anyhow, yeah, I mean, sheep can be scary. But that is funny. Yeah, bears are a little unnerving, I guess, compared to sheep. Good point. But favorite lake view so far, hands down, Lake Aloha in the Desolation Wilderness. Hands down, I want to go back there. I want to go back there, and I just want to sit and I want to eat s'mores, if you can have fires there, and I want to just relax, and if they're fishing, like, go fishing and just kick my feet. I want to go back there when I can fully soak it in, and that's definitely a place on the list to go back to. So if y'all get to Desolation Wilderness, Lake Aloha in California, beautiful, amazing, took my breath away. Sorry I'm late, loving your videos. Niffers really need you back. Okay, I lied. I said that Jerry was the only one. Matt also from back home is definitely somebody who's cheering for me. I mean, not that other people aren't. Y'all know what I'm saying though. They're the top cheerleaders from back home. And no worries on being late, Matt. Let's see. How would you compare the THRU-HIKers on the PCT versus the AT in terms of backgrounds, ages? Oh, okay. From your vids, PCT seems more wild. Wondering if THRU-HIKers match that vibe. Okay, so, trying to think about how I would answer this. Okay, actually, the AT, I would say, has people 25 and younger and 50 and older, at least my experience of being out there. And then us folks that were like late 20s, 30s, you know, early 40s were like, what are you doing? Why are you here? But, I mean, nobody treated you like that. But I'm just saying, you know, we're like, everyone's either really younger or, you know, a good bit older. And that's just the way it was. Out here, though, Perk is 37, Milestone is 30, Dibs is 33, Butters is 30, Dan is like 27, Mark is early 40s. So I mean, you know, I would say it's quite the opposite. And also out here I noticed that there are a lot more people from other countries than on the AT. On the AT all I saw is Germans. Out here I've seen people from Belgium, let's see, Israel, Germany, Australia, New Zealand. I mean, just on and on and on and on. Japan, and I mean several Asian countries. But anyway, so a lot of different, yeah, different groups in a lot of ways out here than on the AT. And as far as wild, I don't know if you mean like party, because I would say that there are partiers on all, you know, either trail that I've experienced. There have been, you know, the party crowd, but on neither trail do you have to like hang out with the party crowd if you don't want to be involved in it, you know what I mean? So nobody's like knocking on your tent saying chug this beer now, you know, it's not like that. So it's what you want it to be. Now if you stay at a shelter on the AT, you're definitely going to have more people hanging out and talking and stuff like that. Out here there are no shelters. Well, there are very few shelters. There are very, very few, like one every couple hundred miles maybe. But so you don't have like the gathering places as much, maybe a water source, but even still people are so used to dry camping that they don't mind collecting some water and hiking on a mile or two, you know. So you don't just have folks gathered up as much, I would say. So, you know, and there are less people on this trail. So I hope that answered your question. I hear the CDT is even more remote than the PCT, and you need to do some map reading to stay on the trail. Don't forget a compass. Yeah, Tim, I've heard that too. I think that they do have gut hooks for that trail, and I'd heard that in the Sierra Nevada I was going to need to like do all of that too. I did have paper maps as a backup in case. I never pulled them out. I had gut hooks on my phone, and it's an app that it shows you where the trail is, it shows you where you're located, and you can like navigate and walk towards the trail, and it'll show you're walking towards it. That does exist for the CDT also, so I will probably rely on that because that's what I'm used to. However, I will have the backups because you are correct, it is a lot more remote. And I've actually been thinking about, I never thought I'd say this and my mom will be happy, but I'm actually thinking about getting an inReach for the CDT. There have been some times out here where I've needed to communicate with people and haven't been able to because I didn't have service, especially like the Sierra Nevada, going 7 days, you know, without any kind of, you know, and it's not so much that I guess I need to talk to people as it is my mom's at home like freaking out, and I'm like, Mom, if you don't hear from me after 10 days, it should take me only 7, if you don't hear from me in 10 days, you can worry, but like before that, please don't call a search party. Like 7 days will be normal, and it could be more, you know. So I know that that's very stressful for her. So for me, in the back of my mind, even though I'm like, I told her, you know, I feel bad that she's worried, you know. So if I could have a inReach that I can text and say still alive at this mile, you know, I know she'd feel better, and it would be good because the Sierra Nevada was pretty scary. So, you know, it'd be good to comfort for me to know that okay, she knows where I'm at. So, whatever. So we'll see. All right. Muscle is more dense, so you're just getting more compact. That's right. How many folks do you meet older than 40 thinking of hiking the AT when my kid is out of the house? On the AT, I hiked with a lady that was 72 years old. So if you go to the channel and you look up who can't hike the Appalachian Trail, you'll see there's a lady named Bluebird. She was 72 years old. And I also, out here, I met the oldest lady to hike the Appalachian Trail, and I can't remember how old she was. She's in her 70s. So there are a lot of people out there over 40. That's what I was saying earlier, is that people are 25 and younger and 50 and older most of the time on the AT. So that's very, very common. You are not, you will not be in the minority at all. So you plan on doing the CDT. Any thoughts of doing the JMT, the Oregon Coast Trail, or even doing an east to west trip? You know, I'm definitely going to do the CDT, finish the Triple Crown. I feel like I got enough JMT while I was on the PCT because a lot of miles intersect and overlap with the JMT and the PCT. So, as far as east to west, maybe someday, but for now, I'm really thinking about maybe the CDT and then stuff in other countries. You know, there's the Camino, there's the THRU-HIKE, there's probably a lot of other cool stuff that I haven't even heard of or thought of or whatever. So, you know, after I finish the CDT, I will feel like I've pretty well explored by foot our country. And, you know, by the time I get done with this trail, I think I'll only have 4 states that I haven't visited yet. So, I think I'm ready to, after that point, you know, I want to finish the Triple Crown to feel that sense of, like, completion and accomplishment. Because you either do 1 or 3, right? You can't do 1, I mean, you can't do 2 and stop. I mean, you could, but, like, for me, when I stepped foot on this trail, I had committed to doing the 3rd trail. So, but after that, yeah, I really think I'd like to see some other countries because I've not really been around the world much. So, I think it would be time for that. And definitely, hopefully, keep, you know, videoing and putting it out there. I have the inReach, good peace of mind with our kids. Awesome, that's good to hear some feedback. Yeah, I've used a couple of people's out here, and it's been really nice. Thank you for the great videos, and still is just fabulous. Hope the bug net helped. Here the skeeters are vicious. Yeah, you know, they are, but it comes in waves. Like, people freak out about them and everything, and like, oh, that's stupid to go out to the woods and not have, you know, something to spray on you, whatever. I mean, like, okay, like, I guess that is one opinion, but, you know, they don't bother me that bad, and honestly, I don't like messing with bug spray and all that. And I remember Mom using Skin So Soft when I was little, and maybe I could have tried that, but it's like I said, it's so intermittent that you're toting stuff like this weight of Skin So Soft for a while. And like, I mean, I probably in the last, well, with all this smoke, right, there haven't been that many mosquitoes. I've probably been bitten by a few mosquitoes in the last couple weeks. So I might have all the stuff, and then, you know, a week later I get slaughtered by them, you know, but it's usually only for a day. So let's see, I just can't stand the itching. If you don't like bug spray, skin so soft works well. Yeah, so yeah, definitely. I mean, if people want to use bug spray and stuff, I definitely don't fault them, but I don't know, I just don't. I also have citronella bracelets I wear that help a little. Oh, sweet. Yeah, I haven't tried. I didn't do anything on this trail, and I didn't do anything on the AT, and I mean, if you can stomach it, you know, then you're fine. I mean, Perk didn't either, and he is fine. I mean, I know that they can carry diseases and stuff like that, West Nile or whatever, but I guess that's a risk that I take. So, but yeah, so does anybody else have any other questions right now? Let's see. Oh, I see one. I'm sorry, Mike. Do you know when you might be at White Pass? I'd like to bring you Trail Magic and meet you guys in person. You know, I don't know. And honestly, yeah, the whole fire thing's kind of turned stuff upside down. It's so funny because folks will, you know, throw out, hey, when you're in such and such area, you know, let me know. And it's like, to remember that place, like, because it's a place that you're not familiar with, you know, to like the folks that are local there, like, oh yeah, White Pass, you know, but like for us, we don't know what it is until we look a few days ahead and see, oh, I'll be, you know, here. So to be honest with you, like the mileage of White Pass, I don't even know that by heart or anything like that. But yeah, I'm not sure exactly what's gonna happen, you know, with all these fire closures and how long things will take, but my Instagram, I don't know if, you know, y'all are following on Instagram or not, but that stays, you know, fairly accurate with timing and like where I am, and then I, you know, of course, post like mile markers for y'all and things like that. Y'all probably know where I am more than anybody else, obviously, because I don't know, like right now, you know, I'm in Bend, but like I didn't necessarily post that on Facebook, you know, but anyhow, so yeah, if you watch Instagram, like you'll see me getting closer, and if you holler about that again, then you know, when I get closer, I can give you a better idea of where I might be, or when I might be there rather. Oh, let's see. Only about 1 million questions. Get a beer and kick back. Nice. I have kombucha, and I have water. Yeah, Perk has bought like several different local beers in there, and he's like, we gotta taste them, you know, he's all excited about that. He gave me, since you said go get Perk, okay, alright, I'll go get Perk real quick. Let me go grab him. Y'all give me just a second. I mean, that's what. Okay. Okay, so Perk just gave me this. Here's Perk.
Hey, do I have spinach in my teeth?
Do you have spinach in your teeth? Let me see. I don't see any. They can't see it for your mustache anyway.
It's a defense
Cheers.
mechanism.
Yeah.
Cheers.
So Perk got these. Apparently, this is from a local brewery. Is that right? Cascade Lakes.
That sounds close.
So he
sounds
got
like a landmark I might have heard about on this trail.
He got this 20-inch brown, he said, because I lost my trout that I first caught. So
maybe this will
give me better luck with the fish. Great.
He's got a picture of a fish. That's how magic works.
It does. Exactly. Okay, let's see. Go get Perk. All right, do you have a brand of socks that you prefer? I prefer Darn Toughs because they guarantee them for life. But I've liked Injinjis lately, which I never thought that I would really try because I didn't have any issues with blisters. But I used the Injinjis in the Sierra Nevada for the first time to test out to see if, or to prevent potential blisters. But Darn Tough for you, I know. I
have used Darn Toughs through the whole AT and this PCT so far.
Okay.
Many others have been suggested, but I can't say no to a return policy if it has a hole in it, you know?
Yeah,
Doesn't sound
exactly.
like
No, I mean, if you pay $20 for a pair of socks, though, you know what I mean? Like, they should last. We are open for our... Oh, we are known for our beer. Yes. Well, it's good. I have to confess that I also kept some of the bite-sized Snickers. I'm so racked with guilt. Don't be guilty. Perk shared them with me, so he thanks you. Because it was a lot. It was well, maybe you didn't thank him, but he did now.
I do now.
He did now.
Yeah, no, I've got plenty left, and I'm...
How far are the vlogs behind you? So we're in Bend, which is like 1900-ish, and then the last one ended at Donner Pass, which I don't remember what mile marker that was. Do you?
11:54 point something.
There you go. So
possibly 0.3.
So it's a little bit, but he's gonna start catching them up now because Northern California just isn't as like glorious as Christina, yeah.
Parish.
So
Hello.
So yeah, that's how far back they are. Okay, if you get a chance to check out Mount Hood Brewing Company and Government Camp. All right, we'll have to remember that. Park, do you carry any backup pair of glasses? Oh, like your
no
spectacles.
I live on the edge. The edge of good vision.
Yeah, yeah. That's a good question, though. I never even thought about that.
You know,
do a lot of people that wear glasses, or do you ever even ask people that, or worry about that, or?
Well, in civilian life, I usually have an extra pair in the car or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh yes, Elsa, you're very brave. I considered bringing an extra pair.
Really?
But, you know, grams. I'd rather have an extra Snickers than a pair of glasses.
I mean, food.
I can't eat my glasses.
It's food. Or a pint of whiskey, says. Well, because that's medicinal.
It is, for medicinal purposes only.
Yeah.
No, but I did have a hard choice when I got these glasses for the trail between choosing polarized lenses or transition lenses. And I didn't want to carry two pair.
Yes.
But I went with transition so I could see the stars at night. Not that polarized would block the stars, but I decided that I don't normally wear sunglasses in civilian life.
Yeah, I remember.
But I felt it would be important in the desert.
Yeah, but this isn't them, so you swap back?
This is the transition.
It is?
It's just not bright enough
dark.
out, yeah.
Interesting.
And so I didn't want to carry two pair, and I felt the polarized lenses would be, like, better in the Sierras with the snow.
Yeah.
But overall, the transitions would be...
Yeah, no, I think it's protect your eyeballs.
More miles of trail it'd be useful for, so I chose the transitions.
Fish beer, interesting flavor idea.
Depends on the kind of fish, right?
I don't know that I want to drink. I mean, I guess I do drink tuna juice, like, at the end of the packet, but I don't know.
Have you ever thought of packing out a beer... I mean, a cheap beer. You don't want to taint this, but and dumping your tuna juice in it just to see.
I
just thought about it. I'm gonna try it.
He'll try it. He'll let y'all know how it is. Park, are you glad to be back with Dixie? No, he hates me.
I mean, it's true. Just
do you think
vehemently?
Do you think finishing without her would be a letdown? Heck no. Park. I mean, it wouldn't be a letdown. I mean, let me say this. It is sad that none of us, like, fam members finished together on the AT. That's kind of sad. Like, all of us finished not with any other family member.
But we had the shelter logs to keep in touch, so to speak. I mean, it's a dead letter drop in a sense, but I did have a fantasy early on, back when I still carried the percolator, of having coffee on Katahdin.
Oh,
I mean, that's what I dreamed of.
Yeah. And then
so it was a letdown in that specific regard.
Yeah.
To not finish together.
Yeah.
But would it be a letdown? I mean, you make your own coffee now. You know, you don't need me.
No.
Let's be honest.
But isn't it much better to want somebody around than to need them around?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So yeah, no, I think like I would be sad if like we didn't finish together, but at the same time, it wouldn't be like, well, this sucks now. I don't. You know what I mean? Like you're out here for yourself. Like if I fell off a mountain, you would still finish.
Dragging your corpse behind me, yes.
What in the world? Okay. What's next? Perk, are you
It would be nice to... Oh, I'm sorry.
No, go for it.
I'm not going to lie. I've thought about if we finish together.
Yeah.
And I don't feel motivated to make up this mile and that mile that I might have missed.
Yeah. He missed the tiny section in...
Little section in
the
Sierras.
Sierra Nevada because of the group that he was with. But I've already told him that I would gladly finish that section with him. So.
I mean, we could do that and then go angel the heck out of Mayor. I mean,
that is true.
It's something I thought about.
We could do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did I ruin a surprise or something? I don't know.
No.
Okay.
No. Okay, do you ever get a chance to cook fish in your aluminum foil? Oh, no, I didn't, because I didn't have my knife at the time, and then when we tried fishing before, we didn't catch it, or after that, we didn't catch anything, so it was just, so that's why maybe in Washington I'll get that Tenkara rod back and do it. We should do that, if we have time for fishing. We could make time for fishing, but, have you seen anyone with contacts on the AT or PCT? I think there maybe are, but
I mean, I don't look that closely into his eyes.
I know.
It kind of creeps me out.
I know Riga wore glasses. I think most people go with glasses because they don't want to dig in their eyeballs. But I think there may be people who have contact backups in case they lose their glasses. I don't know, though. I may be making that up. Is there anything you need replaced, or would you guys like a food beverage care package? Direct message me on Instagram. If you do, I'd love to help. That's nice. That's sweet of you. Thank you very much. We'll discuss that. The thing about, like, the packages right now with the fire closure, we don't know when we're going to be where, and, like, the fire closures keep extending, and then there might be somewhere where you can't access your package, and so,
like, I have to call Sister's post office to get the thing I bounced ahead there from Ashland.
Exactly, because it's closed.
Yeah, so there you go.
But, yes, I mean, we, of course, would appreciate that. Is Perk going to do the CDT with you?
God willing, and the creek don't rise.
Yeah, we've already talked about that. We're like, you do 1 or 3, and we both think that we want to do it next year. So, I mean, honestly, I can't imagine, like, not seeing you on a through hike now. That would just be weird. Rogue Brewery has some interesting flavors. Maple bacon.
I am interested.
I
mean,
everything's better with bacon, even beer. I just want to tell you both, good luck. We're counting on you. Poor movie quote again. I don't know it. Of course, I don't know it.
That's Airplane.
Oh, yeah. That's the one that he says is, like, really, it's quoted a lot, and I don't know it. So. Okay, neck knife versus conventional fixed blade. Multi-tool, what's popular among backpackers? Okay, so for me, I like the neck knife better than the folding one, and I had the folding one on the AT, but I lose it or it gets stuck in this, and I'm like, wait a second, bear. I mean, not that I've fought a bear, but if I had to, like, hold on, let me pull out my knife. Yeah, but with the neck knife, it's just, and like, if I'm just cutting cheese, you know,
it never stops being funny. It's all right.
If I'm cutting cheese, figuratively, literally, whatever. But anyway, my neck knife is just, you know, right there too. So I like that. Milestone carries like a tiny, I'm trying to remember what it's called, but it's a little multi-tool thing. And then
I've got a super ultra, I can't say it with a straight face, because I'm not an ultralight hiker, let's be honest. I buy ultralight gear so I can carry more food and make up the difference in weight. But I got this sweet carbon fiber knife with a ceramic blade that my uncle gave me
on the way on this
out
trip.
Here,
yeah, that's pretty sweet.
It is pretty sweet. It's very light.
It is. So now you can carry an extra Snickers.
Right, but I mean, I would die in the bear fight, so Dixie walks ahead of me.
And so with the neck knife, and I've got him. He's got my back. Yeah. So, but as far as other hackers, I think most just that I've seen carry folding knives usually.
Yeah. But I had a sweet spring-loaded one. Oh, I shouldn't say that because it's illegal in a lot of states.
He had a dream about having one.
Yeah, I dreamt that I had a spring-loaded knife, which is legal in New York if you have only one hand.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But if you have two hands, although they can sell them anywhere in Walmart, I guess they don't check if you have two hands at the register.
So, it might be a gift. Yeah. It might be a gift for a one-handed person.
Right. Yeah. Did you hear about the one-handed fisherman?
No.
Yes, you did. I told you.
Okay, I heard it, but I figured
he caught a fish this big. Okay, that's all I got.
Okay. It's just easier on Insta than YouTube. Hard to get messages on mobile on here. No, I agree. And we appreciate that offer. Yeah. So, yeah, I'll if I'm not following you on Instagram, I will go and I will check that out. Actually, let's see. You know what? Will you direct message me on there so that I can, if you don't mind, maybe that's asking too much. I just want to make sure that I don't lose these comments and then lose your handle on there. Handle like CB Radio. I can't think of any specific questions, but thanks to you both for all the inspiration. Good luck with the final stretch. Thank you, Chelsea. We're gonna do it. If we gotta get a 4-season tent and some snowshoes.
Yeah.
We're gonna make it happen.
That's what they trained me for.
They are interesting in beer form.
What's interesting in beer form?
I don't know. Maybe that's us.
Oh, because we've had a little
Maybe.
bit of beer.
No, but that was like one sip. Can y'all imagine what it would be like to hike the trails without documenting it? Do you sometimes wish you didn't have to document it? You know, that's a good question. Okay, so this is my thing on that. And I have asked myself that before. So what I do is when I go to look at a sunrise, that's, first of all, with the sunsets and sunrises, that's why I love having my tripod, because set my phone up, hit time lapse, and then I sit back and I watch it. So other things, views and stuff like that, I just make sure that I always look with my eyeballs, take it in, and go, okay, now I'm going to take a picture of it. You know, I'm not like looking through my phone at stuff, and like the eclipse, you know, when we did that, you know, we took pictures and stuff like that, but we looked with our eyes, like we had the glasses, we looked, you know, so I try to make a point to stare with my eyeballs and then do that. And sometimes I think that I pay more attention to my surroundings, even though I'm not very observant sometimes with directions. But anyway, like the little critters and the little things that are happening, like maybe do I notice that stuff more because I do want to capture it? So, you know, am I noticing more because I am trying to capture it? Maybe. I don't know for sure, but I don't think that I lose anything from it, and I don't feel like I have to, you know, capture everything. I mean, there's certainly things that I don't video. For example, on the last video when Perk and I caught up with one another, somebody said in the comments, like, we expected, like, the slow motion, like, running and hug and whatever, and actually we did that jokingly, happens. Like, we actually really did that.
I ran in slow motion.
Yeah, and I did too. We were, like,
but
across, like, a grassy patch and all that. Yeah, we didn't document it because we're, like, friends who are, like, we want to hang out. Yeah. And so I wasn't like, wait, Perk, wait, and set up my tripod, and then we did it, you know what I mean? So it's, like, it's real life. So, I don't know. Yeah. So I guess that's not a straight up question or straight up answer necessarily, but I mean, what about you? Do you feel like you?
I'm relieved that I don't have a blog to keep up with.
Perk does have Instagram, though.
I do have Instagram,
and he does enjoy. I think Perk enjoys that.
I do enjoy making those little videos.
Yeah, he does make these funny videos and stuff. So.
Oh, I didn't put the one about the fire closure at Dutton Creek when I ran behind them.
Yeah.
I got to put that one up.
You do have to put that one up.
I should go do that right now.
Perk tends to press the rules or whatever, you know, but it's funny though.
I'm a comedian. I'm a clown.
Yeah, he's a class clown.
I am.
PCT 2017 class clown. So I don't guess I feel like I have to document everything, you know. My thing is I want folks to get out there, and if they can see, like, hey, I'm just, like, this is my second backpacking trip and I'm doing it, then they can do it. And honestly, I really enjoy taking, like, the nature shots and stuff, and, like, the macro lens. Like, I nerd out, like, when I use that macro lens, I'm like, oh, this is so fun, and, you know, I show people the pictures, so it's not like, I guess I ought to take a picture of this spider eating the mosquito, you know. It's like, I want to, like, I enjoy that, so no, I mean, find something you love, right?
That might be my favorite macro shot of all the ones I've seen.
I love that. I was so excited.
Cheered.
Are you going to combine your vlogs together on a DVD to sell? I don't know that it'll be like that, but there might be some kind of I don't know. Really, that's going to depend on Aaron, I should say. So I'm just going to put that ball in his court because I'm not the video editor. So that's totally Aaron. And I mean, if you can get it for free, would somebody buy it? I don't know. Do you carry any knife sharpening equipment? Keith, no, I don't. Actually, my friend Patrick, who does the MT knives, he also sharpens knives, so, I would send it to him and let him, he's, like, beyond razor sharp, sharpening, and he has a DVD on how to sharpen knives and stuff like that. He's, like, he's very good at it. So, I'm just gonna, this one's gonna make it through the THRU-HIKE unless something happens, and I'll send it to him, and he can send it back, but no, I don't personally carry anything. I don't think you do.
I don't even know that you can sharpen a ceramic knife.
I don't know either. Yeah, ceramic. Surely. I don't know.
Maybe I'll have to go down to the stream bed and dig up some clay and make a new blade.
Yeah.
Imagine that.
Oh my gosh.
Nah, ain't nobody got time for that.
No, they don't. But I totally binge watched your entire channel recently. Love your accent and honesty. Well, thank you, from Shasta with love. But yeah, well, I reckon that's the only way to be, right? Straight up.
Be yourself.
Yeah, because you can't be. Everybody else is already taken.
That's right.
No, thank you though, for real. I appreciate that, and I appreciate y'all watching and follow along and all the support. You know, I mean, like, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for y'all. So, and Perk would be lonely because he would be here.
I'd be driving for FedEx still. Probably.
Oh, would you? Well, yeah, I guess we were
I didn't quite have the motivation to do this without you, without a gym.
Without starting the first step. Yeah.
Right.
Once you're on it, then you're committed to it.
Exactly,
so.
But.
Oh, the maple bacon and the sriracha. So he wasn't talking about us drinking. He was talking about. Okay. For both of you, what is the one piece of gear you absolutely cannot live without, excluding the big three? Ooh, well, I don't like to live without my water filter because I don't like to have diarrhea. But
that's a very literal answer.
Yeah.
That's a tough question.
My Neo Air.
But isn't that part of the big three? Sleep
system? Well, is it? Oh, so sleeping system, not sleeping bag. So if you're not talking about strictly sleeping bag, pack, and tent, then my Neo Air extra light sleeping pad. But if you are talking about that, then I'd probably say my stove because I really like to be able to cook. So,
but we did live without it for like
we did,
a couple weeks.
But I don't want.
It wasn't that bad.
I guess I could do it.
I'm sorry to call you out like that.
I could do it, but I'm saying I don't. I prefer to not.
Right, I would prefer, but can't live without.
Is there
something that I can't give up? Whew. Oh, jeez. I'm going through my pack inventory. It always seems like I have too many things, but...
My insoles.
Yeah.
My, Dr. Scholl's for plantar fasciitis. That one's kind of important. It's kind of hard, isn't it?
You know, I like having my rain gear, even though it has yet to be tested, because the one time I got rained on, I didn't bother to put it on. It's an old pair of Frog Togs, but I love having it for bugs at night.
There you go.
So instead of having a separate bug net for the face, you know, I mean...
And I like to hike in mine in the morning when it's cold.
Yeah.
So I'm not hiking in my leggings and long sleeve stuff because I keep that stuff. That is sleeping stuff only. So, I mean...
Yeah, I think I would be reluctant to give up rain gear because of the other purposes it can serve.
And especially as light as Frog Togs are. Perk, what is your Instagram tag?
Professor Perk, all one word, spelled with a K, of course.
Yeah, Professor P-E-R-K.
The terminal letter is a K.
Yes. Our rough target date is October 1st, but that's, rough. Aaron is doing an amazing job on the videos.
I agree.
He
Thank
does.
you, Aaron.
He does. He I don't know. It's like he's here and he sees what it's like and then he puts it. I don't know. It's crazy. I get excited to watch it, and even though I videoed and saw all of it, I'm like, oh, he makes it, awesome.
More. I don't know how to put it.
Damn proud of you, Dixie. It's an honor to be one of your pages. Well, thank you. You were my first donation. Well, thank you. I'm glad that I introduced you to Patreon. And thank y'all again, like I said, for supporting me and following me and cheering me on and just all of that stuff. And I mean, y'all love some Perk too now, cause.
Yeah, thank you for calling me out here.
Yeah, he was sitting in there eating your pizza, right?
Eating my pizza.
He gave up his pizza to come talk.
I did.
What do people use to start fires? Ladder and like pine straw or something. How popular are fire stills? I haven't seen anybody on a trail with one on a long distance trail, to be completely honest.
I mean, I sent mine home at Neal's Gap on the AT and haven't carried one
So
since,
less than 50 miles. Yeah, he sent his home. You said you liked your bear can because it kept the critters out. Have you thought about getting one of the Ursac critter food bags? I see a lot of people out here with Ursacs, but nah, I just need to put it up where the mice can't get to it. So, hi, I'm a newbie to Patreon. Yes. Well, I was too. So I've finally gotten kind of familiar with it. But if you have any questions about Patreon or whatever, you can shoot me a message, and if, I can't figure it out, then I'll get it figured out. So, if you have any questions about Patreon, any of y'all, if y'all have any questions about how it's working or anything like that, let me know. Just send me a message. Perk, have you ever thought about a Z-Pack's rain kilt?
No. Specifically, not that. I have thought about making my own rain kilt out of a pair of Frog Togs, but it seems like more effort than it's worth.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And I feel like
the kilt wouldn't protect my legs from mosquitoes after the rain.
So, that's a good point.
But then again, what if I had a voluminous, capacious enough kilt that it like
ankle length,
or at least loose enough that it didn't restrict your thighs.
Yeah.
I don't know if a rain kilt restricts your thighs.
tuck in.
But what if you could just hike with that and that was your one piece of bottom clothing?
Oh.
I mean, so then you wouldn't have to ever stop.
Because it's airy enough that you're not
You could probably do away with the shorts, boxers, and you wouldn't never have to stop and put your rain gear on because you'd always be wearing it if it weren't.
Well, if you
causing
have to
you to sweat,
sit your butt and slide on stuff like on the AT and the Watts, that would not have worked.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know. I mean, it might be wrong.
But no, if no one's around to see the flash, then who cares?
Yeah, that's true. Because there are guys that hiked in kilts, so I don't know.
Well, okay, so for example, since the AT, at some point along the way, I just carry my headlamp, even if it's daylight, like easily accessible, either in my pocket or in my hip pouch, because I always got frustrated when you'd have to take your pack off and dig it out at night.
Mm-hmm.
And even though I might not hike into the night, I like to have it ready so I can just keep going and not lose my momentum.
Yeah.
So imagine a rain kilt on all the time. You don't have to stop and lose your momentum to put your rain gear on.
That's true.
That's an idea.
It's something to think about. You could try it. Have you tried taking vitamin B1 to repel mosquitoes? No? Mm-mm.
I didn't know that worked.
Repel. My bad. So, no, I do eat garlic, but that doesn't, I don't know. I mean, honestly, I feel like
Speaking
a lot of oh, really?
It's not a mosquito, but it's another kind of
I feel like a lot of,
I
mean, I've seen people spray DEET on themselves, and the mosquitoes come back. So, when we get into, like, these clouds of mosquitoes out here, they're like, I don't know. I feel like Butters and them kept coating it on them and stuff, and it just, sometimes some of it doesn't.
It seems like it lasts 10, 15 minutes tops,
yeah.
and then
you're spraying yourself again.
And even then, still one or two get in, regardless.
So,
brave mosquitoes.
I think the best protection against mosquitoes is long pants, long top, bug net head, and then because that's what Dibs did, and he also treated it with permethrin, but his hands got bit. But I mean, that's it. So
with respect to long clothing, I think you need something that's also loose. Like if you put on your base layer and it's skin tight, they'll just go right through that.
They will.
So you need something like your rain gear that's kind of a little puffy around, and they can't get their proboscis through the rubberized or whatever it is.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
How often do you hang your food bag? So okay, on the AT.
I don't want to be bad. I gotta go.
Park's leaving.
Yeah.
Okay, so on the AT, I hung a bear bag either almost every night. Now, if I did not hang a bear bag, I'm just gonna be.
I plead the fifth.
I'm gonna be completely honest, real world. Every night on a 6-month trip. I mean, if you do stick to it religiously, that is awesome. But there are going to be nights where you're so exhausted that you fall asleep before you think about it, that you know, whatever. Most nights, I would say, I hung mine up on a bear cable system, or I hung an actual bear bag. Rig and I were a mess about busting out our teeth, throwing the rock over the branch and stuff. But anyway, we did it. If I did not hang a legit bear bag, I got it out of my tent, away from my tent, and, you know, hung it up on a branch.
Mm-hmm.
I know that bears can still get it that way. It was like basically offering it, saying just don't eat me to get my food. Mice could have gotten it, but it's like more of a deterrent when it's not on the ground, or not deterrent,
For some
but it's
reason,
less
they're not
likely.
that clever.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they don't think to climb the branches as much. But so at least that on this trail, haven't been as diligent with food. Definitely had the bear can. So honestly, I being honest, I would say the bear can made me lazier, because I didn't have to worry. Like, I didn't have to put the effort into hanging one. So I've definitely done probably more of the mouse bags on this trail than I did on the AT. But
it's tough to find branches. We've been through nothing but pine forest almost, and you know, pine trees are flexible and are full of branches that there isn't one you can just throw a cable over.
Yeah.
It's
and it to be exactly the way that you're supposed to do it.
10 feet off, 4 feet from the trunk. I mean,
I think the important thing is, I mean, yes, I know if bears get food, then they start associating, you know, hikers with food and all of that, and that can be dangerous. But I think the main thing is getting the food away from you if you want to protect yourself from a bear coming in your tent or hammock or whatever at night.
And make friends with people who hike with dogs, who will hopefully smell the bear and wake you up and chase it off. Which
Ragnar has definitely ran off some deer in the middle of the night for us. So, well, I think he was scared of them, but he barked at them. So, but anyway, in grizzly country, we will definitely be dotting our I's and crossing our T's. So, not saying that you should be lax in bear country. I'm just saying that the trees out here haven't been as conducive to hanging a bag, and especially in the desert, a lot of times there are no trees. So, you know, where you're camping. So mainly I just tried to focus on getting it out of my tent and hanging it on something that a mouse might not think to climb. So, yeah.
I second all of that.
And plead the fifth.
And plead the fifth.
Okay. Does anyone else have questions? We've gone long on this one, y'all. Let's see. We are like an hour and a half in. So, I mean, if y'all have any more questions, go for it. But I just don't want to be like sitting here rambling and boring y'all. Okay. Whoop. I'm thinking Perk's important clothing is the necktie. Oh, that might be something you couldn't live without.
I would feel uncomfortable if I didn't have it.
Yeah, he does love his tie. That came from the AT.
It did.
Miss Janet. General gear philosophy: cheap and replaceable, or quality and long lasting? Oh, definitely. Well, so, it depends. Right?
Yeah,
That's always the answer. Okay, so with...
Oh, no, go ahead.
Oh, no.
Well, I was thinking in terms of...
Like frog togs.
Well, yeah, frog togs are an example of cheap and replaceable and lightweight. So I think of it being lightweight, durable, and inexpensive.
Yeah.
Pick two.
Yeah.
That's what it comes down to.
That is very true. I do love the rain gear that I have now. I did have the frog togs on the AT. But I mean, if there are certain places that you can skimp to budget, like to save money, I think that rain gear could definitely be one of those, because the frog togs do work well, and they're like $20 a pair. So if you do tear them up, I use 2 pair on the AT.
Yeah.
So $40, and then but like your tent, for example, I don't know. I mean, to me, something you're gonna be living in, you know, that's probably the cheapest rent you'll have for 6 months. So you might as well, you know, get something that's good.
I didn't think of it that way. Yeah, that's your rent.
Yeah, that's your rent. So you know, I do think with tents, and again, the lightweight, you know, the tent is a good place to cut weight. So the big three, right? So your pack, I think Rebel Yell would attest to the fact that a cheap pack gets annoying. He had one that he got from, was it Cabela's?
Cabela's, yeah.
Cabela's, and he had it replaced like 3 times because it kept falling apart. And they did replace it, but he had to deal with that. So to me, you might as well get something durable that's going to last you with a pack, you know. So I don't know. I mean, I would say if you're new and you're not sure that you're going to stick with backpacking forever, you know, maybe go mid-grade on things, but then you can slowly upgrade, you know, as you. So, okay, let's see.
Hello, Ragnar.
Let's see. I forgot Ramen Rescue. How was it? That stuff is good, and that Texas chili was even better. That stuff was really good. I have to run and feed the fam. Good luck and Godspeed. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. And
what's Ramen Rescue? Is that
Ramen Rescue? It's like
yes,
it's like vegetables that you like put into the ramen noodles. I like how he spelled it with a Y too. Do you see that?
Oh no, I appreciate that.
Yeah. Perk says ramen now too.
Yeah.
Love this chat. Thank you. Thanks for the chat. Thanks so much for taking this time to chat. Thanks for this chat. Well, thank y'all. Thank y'all very much. And thank you for coming out and stopping your pizza to be. No, really.
No, really. Thank you.
Thank you. But anyway, so yeah, if y'all do think of any more questions, like you're like, crap, I forgot to ask this, just shoot me a message and I'll get it to you. Bye, Matt. We'll see you when I get back to Niffers. I'll see you in Opelika. But anyway, thank y'all for tuning in, asking questions, participating, and like I said, again, message if you have any questions. And I reckon we'll see you next time. I don't know when I'll be doing a live feed again. It might not be till I get to Washington, but definitely I'll do, you know, at least a couple more before everything, you know, gets wrapped up. So, and definitely a post one. So, a post PCT. But, alright, y'all. We'll see you next time. Have a good evening.